With more and more people discovering Linux and even loving Linux, are Windows and Apple still at the top of their game? Hey everyone, in this video I'll be covering Linux, Windows and Mac, the three major operating systems today. To be specific, Ubuntu 12.04 as Linux, Windows 7 as Windows 8 has not been released yet in the full version, and Mac OS X Mountain Lion. And I'm aware that there are OSs such as Unix, but to be honest, not many people know about them. Let's start off with Windows, which I'm sure you're all aware of, unless you were born yesterday. It's definitely not a cheap OS, and with a gazillion viruses available for it, antivirus softwares are a must. Additional costs, Windows, try and get rid of the viruses like Apple. However, don't blame Windows as it is one of the most used soft OSs by the general public, and this gives it loads and loads of softwares to choose from, which is really useful. There's a free Windows Live Maker, the Movie Maker, and there's Audacity, which I use. There's Google Chrome, which you can also get for Linux and Mac, and there's PowerPoint with Microsoft Office, which you can't get on Linux. Oh yeah, and this is a problem that many Windows users are familiar with. But Windows, you just can't beat Mac for softwares. And if you are the sort of person who just can't live without softwares, Mac is the right OS for you. It's the king of editing with Final Cut King, and the truth is, Mac can now get most of the softwares that Windows enjoys. However, obviously it has some disadvantages, the most noticeable being the price. Many say that Macs are overpriced for what you get. Also, if you have paid for what you get, i.e. the Mac, then you should have access to all of its components, but Apple disagree. They have made it extremely hard for you to upgrade your RAM, hard drive, or solid state drive. This, in my opinion, is ridiculous. Oh yeah, and I love the Mac's timeline feature where you can go back and retrieve all the files. It's a bit more complex than just going into the recycle bin in Windows and just pressing the restore button. Now Linux is completely different to Mac and Windows. It's open source, which means it's free to download for anyone. Now, many users claim that Linux Ubuntu is too complex for them, and you have to type commands in to actually achieve anywhere in the terminal. However, I personally used to think that, but after I downloaded Linux and actually used it, I realized that it wasn't complex at all. You could just go to the dash home like that and just type in the app you want, such as Denlive, which is a free video editing software. Most people just do it because it's easier and quicker for them, but you don't have to do it. Actually, Linux Ubuntu 12.04 is extremely easy to use, and with around 40 million users, you're likely to find tutorials on any problems that you might face. But there are disadvantages. First of all, Linux lacks the number of software available for editing. For image editing, it's got GIMP, which is good, but not the absolute best. There's also Kdenlive or Denlive, which is just okay. It's a good software. And also, there's LibreOffice, which is as good as Microsoft Office, but it's free for Ubuntu 12.04. Back to the question, what is the ultimate OS? Basically, you decide which is the best OS for you. I personally love Macs. I boot Linux and Windows side by side on the same computer. I use Linux for HTML coding and anything that I just want to do quick and get it over and done with. For Windows, I spend a lot of time on video editing and image editing. I know Macs are better, but I still prefer using Windows because they are cheaper. Just leave a comment below saying which OS is best in your opinion.